Art is very often about the implicit. Much lies beneath what is seen. Far more goes into any piece than what an uninformed audience or viewer might see, and that is one reason for its opaque but captivating nature. Dance is no exception. Though an audience might see any performance in 2 dimensions, based solely off of the body movements, it requires several elements to make it such a dramatic form of art. The primary 4 elements of dance are body, time, space, and energy. Perhaps the most obvious of these elements is body. This refers to the way the dancer initiates movement and interacts with the physical world. It is what the dancer feels and what the viewer sees. The body can initiate these movements in a variety of ways, using a combination of curves, twists, swings, and other motions to create a sequence. We explore these motions, starting with the basics, by performing sporadic motions while traveling. We build on this through the practice of mirroring, where we match our body motions to those of another, before we can ultimately create ourselves. From there, we move our body in a way that feels most natural, developing a sequence. Pure movement is the focus, but the other elements are what turn the sequence into something more. An important component to consider when creating a dance is the timing. This involves counts, how we vary time between dancers, sequence of motions, pace, and rhythm. With the focus on timing, we may merge the movements to music and different movements to each other. There must be an amount of time for each movement and an amount of time between movements to allow for a rhythm and coherent dance. To experiment with timing, we practice integrating canons into our pieces, variations in starting and stopping times, and fluctuations in speed. Another crucial consideration is how the dancers interact with the space. The element of space involves directions, levels, size of motions, and the way the dancers fill the area to work with. This is what really turns a sequence into a dance. We must fully understand space in dance, with attention to how we perform the movements on indicated levels, arrange ourselves in accordance to one another, and place ourselves within the allotted area. When implementing each, it becomes apparent that the way we interact with the space and those around us has a major effect on any dance. The element of energy is the most difficult of the 4 to define, but the most obvious to feel. It essentially is the amount of force being put into each motion, and how the movement really happens. This helps define the emotion of the dance, for the same movement may be somber, or aggressive, or boisterous, all depending on the energy put into it. To explore this concept, we manipulate our movements as if we are dancing through honey, waves, drying cement. The possibilities are endless. And through the various combinations of each of these elements, the possibility for any particular dance are endless. The uniqueness of each is what truly makes dance art.